Don't let me know. Let me know at 2 p.m.
Oh, come on, man. Minnesota, downtown Minnesota going crazy right now, Kenny.
Man, oh my goodness. Man, I tell you, they're going to burn the streets down. Come on, man.
Who's that running behind him? Yo, who's the guy running behind him? Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. You tried to play in, not to play off. Come on, man.
Oh, go ahead. Do your little intro.
The NBA finals are done 2 days ago, actually. You know what's funny, though?
Mm-hmm.
You know what's really, really funny is the last show we did, I think last Tuesday, whenever we did it, right? You were like,
Wednesday. I said next time we do the show,
we might
not have any more basketball left.
And you know what? We have a little piece of basketball, just a little piece of basketball left. I mean, we have the parade, and we have John Morant's suspension coming up. So we have a little piece of basketball.
I promise
left,
you,
right?
I don't care about either one.
Oh, come on,
bro. Okay, John's suspension is not happening for another 5 months.
Like, I mean, it's not happening for another 5 months, but it's going to be announced, right?
But guess what? What does that do for us as basketball fans?
I mean, honestly, I think it helps us talk a little bit of basketball, don't you think? Oh, and one more thing happened, unrelated. Shannon Sharp left undisputed. Yeah, undisputed.
That might be bigger news. Yeah, that might be bigger news than John's suspension.
All right, let's move on, man. Let's talk about the last game of the NBA Finals. I think we have to kind of talk about it. The Heat came out ready to win that game, right? One thing I want to say this before we get on, and I think you might yell at me a little bit when I say this, but this is what I'm going to say. Someone said, if Jimmy Butler is your superstar, you might have to you're not winning an NBA championship. Or something. I think I'm super paraphrasing. I'm not getting it.
You're paraphrasing, and you're paraphrasing incorrectly.
Okay, so help me out, because I know you know this exact quote.
Colin Cowherd said, and I quote, if Jimmy Butler is your best player, you will not be playing basketball in late May or June.
That's what he said. I mean, and in a very weird sense of things, Jimmy Butler was the best player for the Miami Heat leading up to the NBA Finals. Actually, if you go back to the last,
he's been the best player in Miami since he got to Miami.
And true. I'll give you that.
And Colin Cowherd stupidly said this after Jimmy Butler went to the finals with Miami in 2020.
I mean, but can I say why? Can I say why I feel like I know why he said this? Because you know how everyone that didn't play in those games, right? In those games, I mean the bubble championship or the bubble La Mickey or the Mickey Mouse championship, the Mickey Mouse Playhouse. You know, there are people around the league and people around the fandom that do not take that championship serious.
You mean idiots?
People. Call them what you want, but they're
idiotic
people that don't
people.
take that championship. Yes.
Idiotic people.
And because they don't take it seriously, I can see why someone will make the argument that if Jimmy Butler is your best player, you're not going to be playing basketball in the summer or right before in the spring, spring before summer. I can see why someone will make that argument. I mean, it's honestly idiotic, as you said.
I'm listening, bro. Please state your point.
My bad. You know what? And so let me finish that point and make one more other point, and then we can discuss. So looking at the way the NBA Finals played out, right? I'm not saying Colin was looking stupid in the first round and the second round in the Eastern Conference. It was a little bit stupid in the last three games in the in the last 3 games of the Eastern Conference Finals, and then Game 7, he
Mm-hmm.
didn't look as stupid, right? But then in the NBA Finals, Colin Cowherd looked like a genius because if Jimmy Butler is the player that you're counting on, you're destined to fail. You're destined not to win a championship. And in the finals, Jimmy Butler became. Some people say Jimmy Butler became James Harden,
Okay, that I will agree with because he did
right?
become James Harden. But here's what I will say:
Okay,
no, he wasn't right. How is he
I'm saying
possibly
he was
right?
looking.
No, even then he didn't look right. You know why? He said, if Jimmy Butler is your best player, you will not be playing basketball in late May or June. Guess what the Miami Heat were doing in late May and June? Playing basketball. Sure, they didn't win the championship, but it was literally the last 7 games of the entire season. Out of 30 teams, there was 2 of them left, and one of
Mhm.
them had Jimmy Butler as their best player. So that quote was stupid. But then again, I had come to expect that from Colin Cowherd because he's been saying stupid things for years.
I mean,
Only
that's
difference
that.
is no. He has.
Okay.
Difference is he gets more of a pass because we have other analysts who say dumber things.
I mean,
So
one of them
because
happens to be on the ESPN network. Big guy
yes, Kendrick
won a
Perkins.
championship. Yeah,
Kendrick Perkins, yes. No, we can say names on here. Because guess what? We can say names on here.
I don't like calling people out on here, but
Oh no. We can say names on here. We can call people out by their names. We can call them, whatever we want. Because again, if they don't, chances are they won't see it. And if they do see it, I stand behind what I said.
true,
So, and I told you this
true.
before, bro, because I've heard Colin Cowherd. And the thing is, though, the thing with Colin is
Can we
he is
watch your
so
language?
smart.
My mom is watching the show, so
No,
let's
no, no,
watch
no,
your
no.
language,
First of all, I'm the one who usually watch my language. You're the one who's usually,
Can you
flaring
not
out.
say that, bro? Like, relax. She's
Uh,
gone, but you just gonna put me out there. What's wrong with you, man? Oh my goodness. But no, so
okay. No, but the thing is, like I say, the thing with Colin is he's actually very smart, and he's actually really good. He's actually very smart, and
he
he
has some
knows
good takes.
sports. He knows
He does.
basketball.
He does.
The only thing is the fact that a lot of times he will go and make these overzealous points, trying to be ahead of
The
how
curve.
somebody wants to be like, oh, I said this back in October, but
Right.
look who we are now. He was trying to do that,
You
and
know
it
what I
failed
think though?
miserably.
You know what
And the
I
thing is,
think? But go
and
ahead, final.
before, but one more thing though, because I've heard him do this before,
Right.
and he did this before. I think I spoke about this on here already. I told you when last time he did it about who could possibly average a triple double in today's NBA.
Right.
And then when Russell Westbrook did it, he downplayed it so much as if it
Bro,
was
he
like,
called him
oh,
a
come on.
stat stuffer.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
I heard
like,
so like, oh,
so I'm
Russell
like, dude.
Westbrook be going for late rebounds when no one cares. Like, come on,
Yeah, and
man. Let the man.
he's like, oh
Let
yeah,
him
it
be.
doesn't. He's like, oh yeah, and those triple doubles are just like stats, stat stuffing numbers, whatever. They don't matter. Meanwhile, the actual numbers tell you when Russell Westbrook has a triple double for any
Mhm.
team he's played on, they win like 70% of the time.
Correct. Correct.
So
Um,
70% of the time, and you tell me, oh, it's just a stat that doesn't matter. So because of that, I've come to find some of his takes ridiculous. But then again, like I said, I'm smart enough to know better, and I watch the game enough to know better. But I know that some people will listen to him and be like, yeah, he's right. I'm like, yeah, he's not. He's an idiot for that. What I take, but it is what it is. You're gonna say something,
you know
bro?
what I absolutely think, right? I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely think that a lot of these people, Skip Bayless, um, Shannon Sharp, I would even say Shannon Sharp,
Mm-hmm.
um, all of
Yeah,
them are, as you said, trying to make hot takes. Everyone wants to
yeah,
go viral now, so they're missing the point on like the actual takes, and they're not discussing sports anymore.
yeah,
And it's funny because the clips that actually absolutely go nuts and viral are the clips where someone is correcting one of these talking heads and saying no. Like anytime JJ's on
on his
first
first
take,
take.
his takes go viral because he's like, no, like we need to calm down. And so that brings me to this point right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh the Lakers have real estate in the heads of Mike Malone and the Nuggets owner. You just won the championship. You proved to be the best team in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And all you've talked about, like all I've seen them talk about is like I think the owner was announcing Mike Malone, during the parade, and goes, you started as the son of a coach, and now you're the daddy of the Los Angeles Lakers. It's fucking insane, bro. Like this is how, like, I know you've never won anything before, and because if you have,
Hard to act like you've been there when you've never been there.
bro, that's what I'm saying. And I don't have a problem. Like, yo, brag on your shit. You won. I mean, it was disrespectful that you were facing the Lakers and in the Western Conference championships, and everyone kept saying, "Oh, the Lakers keys to victory." And the talking heads got excited by the Lakers, and the talking heads got excited by the Lakers. I get that, but that's the thing.
Okay, but the thing with that is though. Oh yeah, Jake. I know you're happy
Yeah,
basketball's over.
I know, right?
Um,
Don't worry, we got you. You're back on here for football, so just take your time and relax. Like, sir, get your break.
yeah.
Enjoy your break until fall,
No.
winter. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Here's the thing,
So, like,
though.
I just think I haven't liked that per se, because I think it's fine. Like I said, it's fine to brag. I don't care if you brag.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the media talked up the Lakers. Yes, the media does what the media does. The Lakers are the Lakers. The Lakers also have LeBron James. The Lakers have AD. So the Lakers won in 2020 against Denver. So the Lakers have all the talking points coming into the into the matchup.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then you have that chip. You beat the Lakers, and you get into the series with Miami and Mike Malone. You're still talking about the fucking Lakers, bro.
Okay. Here's the thing that I think Mike Malone should get, but the sir, we'll figure that out. While we're not actively recording a podcast. Oh yeah, drunk. You're right. Yo, first of all, the Mariners
Yeah.
been getting smacked around for
And
a
I
little while
love
now.
it. I
They've
love
been getting
it.
smacked around. I think last time they went on the series against the Yankees smacked them 3 games in a row. Oof. But anyway, back to basketball for now. Okay, here's the thing. The thing with Mike Malone is, like, he's a good coach. I'm not telling you he's not a good coach and stuff like that. But what happened is he got caught up in the fact that and don't bring up the cards. No, the thing with Mike Malone is the fact that I don't think he realizes, like, basketball is, especially nowadays, is a lot more than just the game of basketball itself. Okay,
Correct. You gotta
basketball is
market this
now,
shit.
bro. It's ratings. Okay, it's
Exactly.
fandom. It's social media. It's post. And let's face it, bro. There's no Denver fan outside of Denver. Like, all your fans are in Colorado. Outside of that,
Correct.
are people who's from Colorado who still root for you, but there's like one or two of them in each other states. So yeah, when we talk about, but as opposed to the Lakers, on the other hand, who's been a dynasty franchise, who's tied with Celtics for the most amount of championships in NBA history, who's been to the most finals in NBA history. The team who, you know what everybody was waiting for? Lakers Celtics. Who's gonna win number 18 first? That's
Correct.
what everybody was
That's
looking for.
literally what everyone.
That's what
And yeah,
everybody was waiting
we
for.
need to call. We need to talk to Adam Silver when this is done, because no, we need to
So,
figure out how to get that back in the
first of
finals.
all, I was talking to Alex Silver a couple of times. If I knew how to get to him, okay, I would have reached out a couple of times for this playoffs he just gave us, okay, because I feel like if we structured the bracket a little bit better, we would have had a better finals. Again, and the thing, and I'm saying that Mike Malone missed, though, is the fact that basketball has become such an entity on its own. And you talk about the Lakers, right? You mentioned the fact that having LeBron. LeBron has become bigger than basketball itself.
It's unfortunate.
Because of that, it's like you have to realize that yes, you're going against LeBron. Of course, they're going to talk about LeBron. Guys who play on the same team as LeBron don't get mentioned because of LeBron. Like, do you realize that people like when LeBron went back to Cleveland, people were saying things like, "Oh, LeBron James in the Cavaliers, LeBron James in this coach, LeBron James." He was the headline, and then everybody else. So yeah, you going against the Lakers. Of course, the question is going to be about, they're going to be talking about the Lakers. Why? Because that's the story. That's the interesting story. That's what will get the ratings. ESPN is contractually obligated to play a LeBron clip on a loop once
Oh my
every 3 hours.
No, you didn't. No,
Bro,
you didn't.
come on,
No,
son.
you didn't.
In the middle of August, with no basketball in sight, with nobody know what LeBron is doing with his life, ESPN will play a random clip of LeBron just to remind you, like, oh yeah, don't worry, that guy's still there.
This guy's still here. He still plays
Yeah.
basketball. Of
So
course.
it's like, so it's for you to be like, oh yeah, and oh yeah, but the Lakers, the talk is always the Lakers. Of course, it's the Lakers. They're the story. You're the better basketball team for sure. You have the MVP, but the thing is, look at your team. LeBron will finish a game, right? He will go
Mhm.
home. He will watch a clip from the game. He will repost that clip. And if LeBron, in what you call it, if LeBron reposts a clip, guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna go viral. He's gonna go
Mhm.
on Twitter. He's gonna like a tweet that
Mhm.
somebody said. It's gonna go viral. That's what's gonna
The
happen.
guy started
Meanwhile,
yelling Taco Tuesday on the
yeah,
internet, and
yeah. Meanwhile, people were saying Taco Tuesday long before he started doing it. But guess what?
he brought
As
it
soon as he
back
said
for
it,
some reason. Yeah.
okay. So now you're talking about so now and meanwhile your players, like I was saying, if you're Mike Malone, you look at the Denver Nuggets. One, you're a team in Colorado. Nobody cares. Like honestly, like if what you go, people care about other people. There's certain teams people care about, or they would they love to watch play. Denver's not one of them in terms of like overall for the past 20, 30, 50, 100
Right.
years.
Right.
So because of that, like I said, and your guys, like Joker, for example,
People like Joker.
I want to actually ask you about this, later in the show, but like Joker, for
Right.
example, right? Love Joker. His game is beautiful. Imagine a guy who can't get more than a foot off the ground, being able to do what he's been doing, what he's been able to do all this time, right?
I'm still
He's
surprised he had a couple dunks.
Again, he's phenomenal. Okay, his IQ is unmatched. First of all, a big
You know
man
what?
with IQ like
And
that.
AI though,
Mhm.
they cared. They cared. Those were the only times, if we're being
Yeah,
honest.
again, I'm saying that. Well, you see how people talk about individual players. I'm
Hmm.
saying as a whole,
As a team,
people care. People
correct.
care about AI when AI went to Denver because people would love AI before he went to Denver.
Hmm.
People care about Melo being in Denver because Melo came out balling. He won a championship in college, came in the league balling. It was him in the West, LeBron in the East, and of course Wade won a championship before both of them. But and then Wade came along, and then with the whole team up, with Wade team up, with Barnes. So it's like there's a whole story there. There's a lot more to it. Meanwhile, your guys in Denver, these guys won a championship and be like, all right, cool, it's over. Can we go home now? Like your best player. Your best player when it was talking about the parade. Oh, don't get me wrong. You know, um, you're right. Only 17 people care about, bro. You're right. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying, though.
And
So
one of them kind of was in the finals, but yeah.
which means like when those teams are not the talk of the town, nobody cares. For example, right? Like when Milwaukee was in the finals a couple of years ago, people cared about Milwaukee being in the final because Giannis talks to the media. Giannis is likable. Giannis will go there and make jokes. Giannis will try to say that's what happened. Meanwhile, like don't get me wrong, again, love Joker, love his game. But this guy, he looks uninterested about talking to the media. And he looks uninterested. And meanwhile, these guys are not out there promoting the sport when they're not playing. These guys are not out here, tweeting everything. These guys are not watching clips and these guys are not responding. No, they're not doing that. They're all about the game, and it's fine. But you have to understand that the game has become more than just the game on the court itself. There's a lot more that goes into it, and that's why So yeah, so again, so because of all that happening, yeah, of course they're gonna talk about the Lakers because they're the Lakers and you're the Denver Nuggets. So like for him to say like, oh yeah, keep talking about the Lakers, yeah, bro, they're the biggest story. You've won, and honestly, does it feel like anybody cares? None. Honestly,
No, no, you're
yeah,
right.
and again, I'm not saying like because again, as a basketball fan, I'm elated.
It's yeah.
The last couple of finals I've loved because I'm watching teams do things like, for example, a couple of years ago they said, oh, the Warriors, they're never going back to the finals because injuries, this guys getting old and blah blah blah. Last year they won. That was a good
Beat the
story.
young, yeah, beat the young
Yeah,
Celtics.
young Boston team, right? They won. That was a good story. Before that, Giannis won a couple of seasons in the regular season MVP, won Defensive Player of the Year. But he lost. He lost price. And that's like, damn, is he really that guy? He came out, they won. All of a sudden, it's like, ooh, feel good story. We love that. Okay. But then again, you go back. If you go back the last 5 championship, like first of all, it looks like you know what? That's what I was gonna say earlier. I guess I'll say it now since you're still texting. Um,
I'm sorry.
no, no. I'm gonna say it now though. It looks like the last few years, the teams who's won the NBA Finals are guys who don't care about who's uninterested really. Okay, I see why. When we talk about older heads and older basketball fans, where they're like, oh man, these guys don't care about the game because these guys play basketball like it's a side jobs. Kawhi won an NBA Finals, won NBA Finals, and won Finals MVP. He was a trophy like, yay, we won. And then he go home like, all right, guys, hey, honey, how was work? Our work was good. What's for dinner? Like that's how these guys treat the NBA now. Meanwhile, these guys back then they won the NBA Finals. They're drunk for the next 3 months. They're
True.
they're popping
True.
bottles for the next 3 months. So because of that, these guys like right after they won the finals, and they were talking about, oh, you guys are are you guys excited? It's the first championship Denver's gotten. You got a parade coming up, and Jokic go, when's the parade? He goes Thursday.
Thursday.
He goes, oh God, I gotta go home. Like that was his reaction. That was his reaction when they told him that there's a parade for his city. Literally a
I
parade in
mean,
his
he
city.
corrected himself. He corrected himself at the parade today. He was like, I
Yeah,
want
but
to
I'm
be
saying
here.
no, no, no.
But
But I'm saying,
yeah,
but I'm saying,
it
but I'm
was
saying
news
this.
for a
Like
single
it's like
second.
it's like brand new. You just won the finals like 10 minutes ago, and you tell you, oh yeah, there's like Ja was saying there's a parade in my city. You
The
literally have a
parade
parade in
in
your
my
city.
city. Yeah.
It's like literally a parade in your city. You're like, oh God, I gotta go home. Like you, you look at you didn't want to be there. So, but yet you upset because people are talking about the Lakers as opposed to talking about you and all your great accomplishments. Bro, stop it.
You know the craziest funny thing is, remember we had a conversation on this show
Hmm.
that if they lost, will Mike Malone be fired?
Yes,
Looking at it right now, I was on his side for a second, and if they lost, he should absolutely have lost his job because all this talking that he's doing proves that I don't think they're coming back next year. I think he's excited they won this one, and I don't think they're coming back next year. And Drunk said a ring really only matters if the team is absolutely going to come back next year. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tougher for him next year.
yeah.
And looking, he still has the best young core, right? I think they're one of the younger teams out west,
They are one of
outside
the
of
younger teams,
Sacramento
and their team
and
is
the Grizzlies, right?
most of the roster is signed until 2025. So
Yeah, so they have a chance. They have a shot.
yeah,
So takeaways from the NBA Finals, real quick. Joker obviously was a monster. Takeaway from the NBA playoffs. So I saw a post that said the this was the biggest playoffs in NBA history in the last 5 years. Right, this had the most views, and I was tempted to ask on the post, but I didn't do it. I was tempted to ask, like, what about the
mhm.
finals? Like, what are finals as huge as the NBA playoffs? I feel like the playoffs got more coverage, or there was more to be talked about in the playoffs than the actual NBA finals itself.
Because nobody wanted the Denver Miami finals. I
Okay.
don't care what I don't care what I don't care what anybody tell you. Nobody wanted that. Somebody might tell you, oh, basketball purists wanted the best teams or the teams that worked the
Oh,
hardest
get
to
the
win.
fuck
Blah
out of
blah
here.
blah.
Purists are fucking lame, right? I'm sorry.
And
Basketball
again,
purists are lame, bro.
I say liars. You say lame. I say they're lying. You know why?
They're always
Because
lying. Because
because
go ahead.
because like I'm like I know they're lying, and the reason I say I know they're lying is because you don't want basketball purists. You don't want pure basketball. If you did, you know what sports will get more viewership? The WNBA.
Baseball. Facts.
No,
WNBA, because that is
WNBA will get more because
honestly,
guess what? Because
that is just
WNBA when you watch it
basketball.
play, it's just basketball. There's
It's
nothing
just
else.
basketball. No highlights. No,
There's
like,
no
no super crazy highlights. Like,
nope.
some one of the women will go off for 30 points or 40 points that night, and that would be the highlight. She would
That
drain
will
every
be
three she
exactly.
hits.
So
That would be
you
the
know
highlight. But it's just plain basketball in the way basketball has been played before, like super highlight reel dunks, and John Moran is
Before
trying to take people's
exactly
heads off.
again, if we didn't have guys who were like 6'9", could put the ball between their legs and windmill, no, it would be the WNBA. Well, of course, minus a lot of the screen. I make grits and eggs for game for us. How much? Okay.
Right. Like, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure a lot of bars had like weekend specials hoping that it would get like a weekend NBA finals game. But no, Miami couldn't even do that.
Well, first of all, hold on. The day we were at the bar, was there a game on that day?
No. It was absolutely
Okay.
after it was the Wednesday. We had
Yeah.
just worked out. Then we went to go eat. Yeah, it was not a game.
Yeah. So I'm like,
It was not a game.
so a lot of places I'm passing by, they don't even have a game playing unless you're like, oh, can you put the game on? Oh, they're like, oh yeah, there's a basketball game on. Because nobody cared. Nobody wanted the Denver Miami finals. Everybody was waiting for Lakers, Nuggets. Not the Lakers. Lakers, Celtics. That's what
Boston.
everybody was waiting for.
All right. Who are you calling to the front of the class for this game to kind of like reprimand?
Oh, Jimmy Butler. Yeah. The what you call it? The DNA results came back. Yeah, he's not Jimmy Jordan. He's not Michael Butler. He's just Jimmy Butler. Again, it pains me to say this because I love Jimmy, and to this day, I get a ring in my ear every time Jimmy wins a game. What I could hearing is Tobias Harris over me. Like, that lives rent free in my head. Love Jimmy, but Jimmy Butler did not perform in a Jimmy Butler performance during the NBA Finals. Not once in 5 games.
It was kind of
he
lame.
did not give a single
very
Jimmy Butler game. Playoff Jimmy, he didn't give not one. I get it. Teams were focused on him. Like, but then again, I'm like, who's the best defender in Denver? Because whoever they put on him, or whatever scheme they had for him, it seems like he was. Granted, I feel like he was also kind of tired because he basically dragged that Miami team from the first round all the way to the finals. He basically dragged them. But at the same time, though, you don't get to show up on the biggest stage of them all and start the game 2 for 14. And then, and just be like, all right, whatever. Like, okay, it's get it. You're cool. You're too cool for anything. But at the same time, cut it out. This is the NBA Finals. Jimmy Butler, he definitely because first of all, if even yeah, but the thing was drunk.
Were you checking for Caleb Butler before that game in Boston?
Caleb Martin, you see,
Caleb Martin. Both of them, Caleb Butler, they became each other in the
Caleb Butler or Jimmy Martin. Yeah,
Jimmy Martin, bro. They were both buns.
So the thing is though, like I said, you don't expect like whatever Caleb Martin give you is just bonus. Whatever Struz gave you is just bonus. Your expectation is on Jimmy Butler. It's on Bam Adebayo. It's on.
Correct.
That's who your expectations are. You're not expecting.
We called Bam out the entire. We called Bam out the entire
playoffs,
and he heard us
in the finals. He's the only one who showed up in the finals.
He heard us.
Yeah. He's the only one who showed up. So yeah, if I have to call one person, bro, Jimmy Butler, you definitely did not. You did not play like Jimmy Butler. And the thing is, the reason I know you didn't play like Jimmy Butler because I've seen Jimmy Butler play. I've seen you play. I've seen you drag your team.
He put 50 points on Giannis.
56.
The first 3 games in the Boston series, he was out there. I think it was after that Boston. I think the Boston series took a lot out of him. If we're being honest.
No, it did. Because again, they were up 3-0. Then they lost the next 3, and they had to win a game 7 on the road. No, that burned him, and that's what I told you. Like, I understand the Boston series took a lot out of you because Boston is not an easy team. In terms of even if when they don't win, they will put you through it. Okay, Marcus Smart is one of the most annoying players in the league. Okay, they would throw bodies at you. Okay, whether it's Smart, whether it's Grant Williams, whether it's they would throw bodies at you. Jaylen Brown, Tatum has become a better defender. Robert Williams in the post, like even the guys that come off their bench, he's out here is out here balling. What's his name?
Malcolm Brogdon.
The one whose hairline starts back here. Derek White.
Derek White.
Yeah, like
Jesus.
even Derek White was
All
out here
right.
balling. During
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop you there. Let's grade the NBA season as a whole. First half, second half, before the playoffs.
first half, I will give a solid B minus. Yeah, solid B minus for the first half. Maybe a C plus for the first half of the
Okay.
season.
Post
The
All
second
Star
half of
break,
the
right
season,
before the playoffs. Yeah.
right before the playoff, yeah, I'm gonna give it an A because teams were balling, teams were working, teams were trying to get there. Like teams were working. Like the Lakers, they're like, oh yeah, you got to win 19 out of like 25 games. Got it. We have to win.
I gotta come back to you on that one. You were like, ain't no you. I told you. I texted to you, and you was like, "Get out of my face, man. Get out of my face.
First
Get
of
out of
all,
my fucking
Mo,
face."
at this point,
You did
at this
right.
hold on. At this point, bro, you know me. I am a skeptic. Okay, I
I
am a
just
skeptic.
I'm so curious, drunk. What is off court? I just want to know why off court has an A plus. Because can you just tell us down in the comments why? I just want to know. I'm so curious.
No,
But go ahead,
I do
what's it?
want to know that too. But yeah, so I'm saying though, in terms of like, bro, you know this about me, bro. I am a skeptic. Okay, I
Uh huh.
don't believe nothing.
True, true.
Ooh,
That was deep.
You
That
know
was
what?
deep. That was deep. You
I'm
was
gonna take
tight
that
about that
A.
too.
I'm gonna take that A from the second half of the season and change it to a
Mm-hmm.
B
Because
because
you was tight as fuck. I know.
of the
I
Nets
know. I was
breaking.
so surprised. I was so surprised. You paid that money for those tickets.
Bro, bro, think about it, bro. You telling me
Uh-huh.
I can be courtside, KD and Kyrie, Harden and Embiid, right there in Barclays. You telling me I'm gonna say no to that? Come on,
True.
son. Like it was going to be epic.
Oh my good. I knew it. I fucking knew. I was just.
You know,
I
you
thought
know.
John Morant was gonna be in front, but Dre punching Jordan Poole into the wall and almost killing him, literally, is how the season started. I think we should have known at that point that the season was gonna be on some shit when that happened.
No, at that point, we should have known the Golden State Warriors we were not going to repeat. That's what we should have known
Mm.
because when the season started with Dre, and it wasn't just like it's like oh yeah, it was more like that man lean,
He
like
put him in the
yeah,
wall. He
yeah.
banked, like his back hit the wall and everything. That was kind of like it's kind of tight. If I was Jordan Poole,
But
I'm never forgiving you, bro.
then
Like
again,
you
maybe
have
that's
to
why
see me
Jordan Poole can
outside.
perform the rest of the season because he got hit in the
Yeah,
mouth. He got
you
hit in the
have to see
mouth.
me outside, bro.
Yo, first of all, you know something though.
Go ahead.
Jordan Poole, after last year's finals, was talking to Andrew Wiggins. He said out loud, "We about to get a bag." Sure enough, they got a bag, and they both
Hmm.
came out this season and played
And
like garbage.
that, yes. So now let's rank the NBA playoffs. Just the playoffs. First, second, Eastern Conference and Western Conference.
Does the final include the finals or no?
No, we're gonna rank the finals at the end of this.
If we don't include the finals, A plus for the rest of the playoffs.
Okay.
A plus, A plus with some extra credit because these teams came up
I
performing,
mean,
bro.
Miami, the eighth seed, making it all the way to Eastern Conference Finals. The
Lakers
Lakers,
seven
the
seed
seventh seed,
make it to
making it
Western
to
Conference
Western Conference
Finals.
Finals.
Like what you call it,
The
the
Lakers
Knicks.
beating
The Knicks. First of all, the Knicks making it to second round by by beating Cleveland 4-1 in the first round.
mhm.
That was an amazing first round.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was
I think
epic.
Cleveland. It's funny because I was gonna say Cleveland has no actual playoff experience, but then you have Spider who's been there,
Spider
been
has
closer.
plenty of playoff experience, but the thing is,
Yeah,
though, maybe Spider's not the guy that we think he is,
he's not the
or we
leader.
were hoping he is.
I mean, but then Gobert isn't the guy. So whose fault was it? Because that's why they split up, right? Spider wanted to be the guy. People thought Gobert was the guy.
Who thought Gobert was the guy?
I mean, he got a bag from he got a bag from before he got to not Memphis,
Minnesota.
Minnesota. He didn't get a bag from Minnesota, but he got a bag from
from Utah.
where they were.
But
Utah, yeah.
but you okay. But here's the thing, bro. You understand how the bag works, right?
Hmm.
Like
I mean,
when you
he had
listen,
pauses and whatnot.
mhm,
Go
like
ahead.
he has two defensive player of the year. He has two defensive player of the year, and he's 7 foot tall and block shots. You can't like, bro. You can't think your way to being 7 foot tall. You can't work your way to being 7 foot tall. When you're 7 foot tall and you block shots, guess what? You're gonna get paid for it. When
Hmm.
Leonard first came in the league, I think I forgot who was talking to him, was telling him like, yo, listen, if you want to play, you got to earn your minutes. You want to earn your minutes on offense, play defense. He went out. He went out. He was an absolute dog on defense, and from there he started getting more minutes on. He started getting more touches on offense. So
Correct.
when you play
Correct.
good defense, you get rewarded for it. And again, you're seven
Okay.
foot tall, you block shots, you're gonna get a bag.
Right. Great NBA playoffs. We're at the finals before we
Up
go.
to the finals,
Let's
yeah.
grade the NBA finals.
The finals, B minus.
That's pretty high, though. A B minus is pretty high.
Yeah, but I mean, again, we did have a 2 time MVP playing, and he did ball out. Like the man played like MVP.
He's a
In
two-time
fact,
MVP. He showed you why it was a two-time MVP. People were
exactly.
asking for Embiid to give up his MVP.
You say people were asking. I'm still asking for it. If
Oh
if I knew if
shit!
I knew where Joel Embiid lived, I would pull something, and find out what's his MVP trophy case. And
That's a good question.
what was the guy's top
That's a
surprise
good
this year in the
question.
NBA as a whole? Damn, Jake, I thought you were going to
That
bed.
was a
You over here
great.
like,
Why? Like, why aren't you like? You know what, Jake? I'll give you my question. My answer to that question was the Lakers making it into the playoffs. To be very fucking honest,
no, no, no.
even
You
no,
know
no, no. And I'll
why?
tell you. I'll tell you. As excited as I was, right, when that all the trades happened and everything, as excited as I was, the Lakers not making it to the playoffs, but making it as the seventh seed because that is also a better seeding than an eighth seed. I didn't think that I there was a piece of me when they would lose like one of those games that they were supposed to win, when they lost the first game, because they went like a couple wins and then they lost the first game, and I was like, here it comes. I was literally in my head like, here it comes. It's about to
But
unravel and people are gonna
but
like,
Mo,
but they did
that's
it though.
that's more so late in the season. I'm talking about as a whole,
As a
like as a
whole,
whole,
the
like
Lakers starting off where they started off.
because but I mean, but again, okay, look at the roster in the beginning. Did you think, oh yeah, this team's not gonna make the playoffs?
Mm,
Like no, you didn't think that. And first of all,
but then the
okay,
surprise is them starting off what, 2 for like 10. Like that's that
yeah,
team, as
that
you
was
said. Just
surprising.
looking at the roster, that was a fucking surprise.
Yeah. So okay, so that was okay. Yours for you was the Lakers. For me,
That's a good one. That's a fucking good one. I can't even be mad at that. That's a good one. That's a fucking great one because they got. Adam Silver said, "You know what? You guys have been tanking for so long, and this is how you know they were so committed to the tank. They gave away Dejounte Murray for like a bag of chips."
yeah, yeah. But for me, the surprise of the season, hmm, I don't know. Surprise of the season for me might have been the Knicks, honestly, because I have very low expectation of the Knicks, like so low that you can't even call it underestimating them at this point. I have no expectation of them,
Wow, that is crazy.
bro. You know this.
That is
I live in
crazy.
New York. I'm surrounded by New
I
Yorkers,
know, but
and
like, it's so crazy.
bro, between okay, the Knicks had a roster between Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, and Julius Randle. They give those three guys $300 million combined. When those are your $300 million guys, I didn't expect much from them. At best, Jalen Brunson deserved it. He proved that he deserved it after the season, but prior to that, I couldn't think of a reason to give him $100 million.
Hmm.
But it worked
Hmm.
out, and so for
It
me,
did.
the
It
surprise,
did.
it was them. That was my
All
surprise of
right.
the season.
Who's your since we're doing this now, who's your standout player? I'm gonna go with this. For the reason I'm asking this question is because he just said this might be his favorite player. Who's your standout player this season? Like, who is the player that you were like, you know what? I'm looking at you. It doesn't have to be someone who made like some great headline. It was just someone you looked at. I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
not let's not go with the LeBrons, the Giannis's, the Jokers, because I think they're always going to be standouts. Let's not go with the
Yeah,
basic standouts, even the Jaws. Let's go with someone that you came out of nowhere.
Hachimura.
Oh,
Hachimura. Since he got what you call it, mine was Jimmy Butler not being
I'm
MJ's
so
longer
tired
son.
of you guys,
Funny,
man. Let me just
funny,
do this fucking show. That's his top
funny.
surprise. But go ahead,
No,
man.
for me,
You're so
no,
you're
but
you're saying that with Hachimura?
yeah, yeah, because when they traded for him, I was like, the fuck are you guys doing? I was like, I'm like, is this really what you thought? Mikael Bridges, Mikael
Mm-hmm.
Bridges.
Like
Yes,
that's one for me because
he was
he really,
definitely one for me as well.
yeah.
But yeah, for me, like Hachimura for me came out of nowhere because I'm like, I prior to this, I mean, I knew who he was, but I never paid him much attention.
I
But
mean,
we're talking like yo for second half of the season he came
what he
in to
did,
Lakers straight
yeah, what he
balling.
did when he
In
came in,
fact,
he
in
balled.
fact, and he went in the playoffs. I think his first playoff, and he performed.
Performed,
So
yeah. He was.
yeah,
I think he
so
was
for
one of the
me,
biggest.
yeah, so for me it was Hachimura.
For
And this
me,
okay, so mhm,
my is the kid who gave Steph the business in the first round of the playoffs until he broke his
De'Aaron
hand.
Fox.
Yes. I mean, I felt like he was always going to be that guy, but like the reason I'm giving it to him is because what he did in that first round of the playoffs till he broke his hand, and he still played with that.
He was
You
an
got to get it,
absolute
bro.
dog.
You
Like he
have
was
to
a
get it. Yeah.
dog. Yeah, no, no, no. 100%. I agree with you.
Uh,
That's fair. That's fair. But so yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, who's the guys
mm.
fixing? Bro, the playoff ended two
Man,
days ago.
it
You
just
were
ended,
next year's.
man.
What's the
Let's see
matter
what
with you?
moves happen. Let's see what happens in the draft. We'll come back to this question. I like the question though, but we'll come back to it. But you were gonna ask a
No,
question,
you like
Wetson,
the
right
question. I'm
before you
asking him
go.
what's wrong with him. You like the question. I'm asking him what's wrong with him.
Wetson,
It's
can we
June.
just can we not like give
Can
him
we
a break? It's
be
not
nice
football.
today?
Yeah, be
Be
nice.
nice today? Since when? Since when you
When
choose to
he
be
comes
nice?
back for football, you can give him the business. But yeah, you were about to ask a question right before we leave.
Oh no, I was gonna ask you, who was your disappointment for the season?
John Morant. And well, Joel Embiid, but John Morant. Like John Morant because prior to like his fuck ups, he had such an upside, right? Such a high upside. Like you're like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is Jaw's season, you know, this is Jaw's season, and then he has his first mess up. Then he has to come back and start coming off the bench before he, now they put him back into the lineup. But honestly, I think scratch that mess up in the middle of the season, John Morant has a better season than some players will ever have. Um, kind of a disappointment to me outside of but John Moran I think could be anybody's, right, if we're being very honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kind of a big enough, and the reason why I said Joel Embiid a little bit because like you and I don't know if I should add the postseason into this because it's the postseason, but I think based on the postseason performance, Joel Embiid can be my biggest disappointment outside of entire Celtics organization. But it's your go.
Since you chose my pick with Joel, I guess I
No, I
go
didn't
I go
really
with,
choose
with the
your pick with
Celtics.
Joel.
No, I'm saying you did because for me he was the biggest one. The man cried his way into an MVP, and then
Oh
come
my
playoff
god.
time he disappeared. And no,
Oh
I'm
my
gonna say he cried his way into an MVP. That's what he
okay.
did. He cried
Okay.
about, oh yeah, it should have been me like 3 years in a row, and then he gets it, and then come to playoff time, he pissed the bed.
He didn't show up. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
he
right,
stood
but
out. He stood outside taking threes. He stood outside taking
you know
threes
what's
because
funny? I think both of us kind of have outside of John Morant because you were about to bring up the Celtics,
hmm
the main two guys for the Celtics. I think outside, yes.
no.
Ooh,
Well, for me, it's not the, it's
ooh,
mhm.
ooh, ooh, ooh. I know, right?
um.
I know,
I'm
right?
not. Well, the thing is, I mean, I see what you're coming from,
Right,
but
right.
but the thing is though. I can't even agree with that because
But you can
the
argue with
Mavs
it a
were
little bit,
stupid.
though. Yes,
Hmm?
because they
The
were
Mavs
hot
were
right
stupid.
until they made a trade. But it's
Yeah,
fine.
the Mavs were stupid. Like,
They got two
what
ball
did you think you were
stoppers.
getting by trading for Kyrie?
Right.
Luca is ball dominant. He's Luca has a 55%, 55 plus usage rate for his career. Yes, I look at usage rate. The only player that has the highest one was the black version of him, James Harden. He's the only one who has a higher usage rate in the past like 6 years. So again, when you get a ball dominant guy like Luca, you go and give him Kyrie Irving, who dribbles the ball till he deflates before he finished at the basket. What did you think he was getting? The Mavs were stupid for that one, so they deserve not making the playoffs.
Mm. Okay. Well, but you were about to bring up Boston, the
I was bringing
Celtics
up
as a
Boston
whole.
and saying that saying the Celtics suck and that and yeah, they suck and their coach sucks and the owner lying to himself and lying to the public saying he thinks um Joe Joe De Blasio was a better coach than Ime Udoka. I don't know what his actual last name is because I don't care. To say he was a better coach than Ime, I'm like, you're absolutely lying your ass off. And this team not taking timeouts in the right time. These guys not playing good enough defense. Like, first of all, that team was a disappointment because there's no way you're this talented. You just made the finals. You got this far, and you lost to Miami Heat because that Miami Heat team fully healthy with Tyler Hero, with Oladipo, with whoever else they had should not be able to beat you. Meanwhile, without all those guys, with Jimmy Butler and Jimmy Butler, Bam, who barely showed up, and four guys, and a bunch of guys, they found playing ball at the park. Like that team should not have been able to beat you. So the fact that they did, yeah, Celtics was a disappointment. And Tatum is just he's not the superstar we were hoping for. He's not. And for him to become that guy, he will have to then prove it. Because as of right now, he's not that guy. He's just really nice at scoring the basketball.
Interesting. Well, oh man, got to coach a win for your life. Who you going with? Final
I go
question.
with Jason Kidd. Oh, Mazzulla, that's his name. Okay, cool. I was calling him Joe De Blasio. No, what you call it? Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kidd. If not for nothing else, just because I've seen Kidd win before as a player, even if not as a coach. Like Joe Mazzulla, I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. I think they were relying solely on all talent. He was relying on the fact that the team is so talented from top to bottom, and that should get him a win. That's what he was relying on because there's no way he was relying on. There's no way anybody could tell me he coached to win. I didn't see it.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Drunk. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Wetson. We are at the end of our post NBA final show. Great NBA season, great NBA playoffs, and the NBA finals. Thank you so much to Adam Silver. Next time, Adam, just make it happen a little better. I know the Hollywood strike, writer strike got you a little hemmed up. So, get the scripts in
Yeah,
early so that,
please,
get the scripts in way, way before. So
writers and
if
get the scripts in early.
Yeah,
Like
pay your
figure it out.
writers, man. Get these guys back and get these guys writing. I think I need the season to be so much more better next year. But no,
Yeah.
thank you again, Wetson. This was fun. Thank you, everybody. We will see you next week.
Next week.
Dang, what is this show next week? This is crazy.
Mhm.
We gotta find.
You say what?
We gotta figure out a show next week. Thank you.
No, bro,
thank
come
you,
on.
everyone.
We can figure out a show.
I'm
You
kidding.
know,
Yeah, we'll figure
we
out
can
a show
figure out a
next
show, man.
Yeah,
Come
we
on.
do that.
Let's bring
I
it-
mean, we started the show during the hockey playoffs. If we're being very
yeah,
honest,
exactly. So we have
got
plenty to
you.
talk about. We have plenty to talk
Right.
about. We
All
just,
right, man. We
ugh.
bullshit. See
All
y'all
right,
later, man. Peace.
Peace.
Come on, man. Minnesota, downtown Minnesota going crazy right now, Kenny.
Man, oh my goodness, man! I tell you, they're gonna Burn the streets down. Come on, man.
Who's that running behind us? Yo, who's the guy running behind us? Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. You cry.